Abbakka. The fiercely independent princess had been trained in sword fighting.
ನರೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಿದು ಬೆಳದಿ ಮರೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಿದು ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳಿಳಿದು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯುವ ಧರೆಗೆ ಇಳಿದು ಭುವಿಯಿಂದ ಪುಟಿದು ಜೀವನದ ಒಲವೇ ನನ್ನ ನಗುವೆ ಮುಗುಳು ನಗೆ ನುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೆವ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಡೆದಂತೆ ನುಡಿವ ಅಪ್ಪ ಮರೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಿದು ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳಿಳಿದು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯುವ ಸುರಿವ ಮಳೆಯಿಂದ ಕೊರೆವ ಚಳಿಯಿಂದ ಸೂರ್ಯರಶ್ಮಿಯಂತೆ ನಾ ಬೆಚ್ಚಗಾದೆ ಮನುಜ ಮತವಂತೆ ವಿಶ್ವಪಥದಂತೆ ಮನಸ್ಮಿತವಂತೆ ಯುವರಾಜರಂತೆ ನೋವೇ ಇರಲಿ ನಲಿವೇ ಇರಲಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ್ಯದ ನೆನಪು ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿ ನೋವೇ ಇರಲಿ ನಲಿವೇ ಇರಲಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ್ಯದ ನೆನಪು ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿ ಮರೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಿದು ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳಿಳಿದು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯುವ ಹರಸಿದ ಮನವು ಹೊರಸಿದ ಕೈಯು ಮನದಾಗ ಮೂಡಿಸಿದ ಭಾವಯಾನ ಮುಗಿಲಂತೆ ಮನವು ಸಿಡಿಲಂತೆ ಮುನಿಸು ಸಿಡಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಟಿದೆದ್ದ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಮಿಂಚು ಕಣ್ಮಿಂಚಲ್ಲೇ ಹೊಳೆವ ಹೊಳಪು ಕಣ್ಣಂಚಲ್ಲೇ ಮಿಡಿವ ಬಿಳುಪು ಮನದ ಉರಿವ ಚಳಿಯಿಂದ ಸೂರ್ಯರಶ್ಮಿಯಂತೆ ನಾ ಬೆಚ್ಚಗಾದೆ. ಮನುಜ ಮತವಂತೆ ವಿಶ್ವಪಥದಂತೆ ಮನಸ್ಮಿತವಂತೆ ಯುವರಾಜರಂತೆ. ನೋವೇ ಇರಲಿ ನಲಿವೇ ಇರಲಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ್ಯದ ನೆನಪು ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿ. ನೋವೇ ಇರಲಿ ನಲಿವೇ ಇರಲಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ್ಯದ ನೆನಪು ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿ. ಮರೆಯಿಂದ ಸರಿದು ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳಿಳಿದು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯುವ
Rani Abbakka Chowta, the fearless warrior queen of Tulunadu. She could ride a horse, fight with a sword, and was a seasoned diplomat. She also had bloody battles with the Portuguese and was the last person to use agnivanas or arrows tipped with fire. Chautas were the Jain kings who had migrated from Gujarat in the 12th century to Tulunadu, a province consisting of present-day Dakshin Kannada district of Karnataka, portions of Udupi and Kasaragod district in Kerala. Ullal was the capital of the Chauta king Nirmala Raya III. As the Chautas were a matrilineal dynasty, the king's heir was his young niece Abbakka. The fiercely independent princess had been trained in sword fighting, archery, cavalry, military strategy, diplomacy, and all other subjects of statecraft from a very young age. Before his death, Nirmala Raya III had arranged a strategic marriage alliance for Abbakka with Lakshmappa Bangaraja, the ruler of Mangalore. As the ruler of Ullal, Rani Abbakka continued to live in her own home even after marriage, and the couple's 3 children stayed with her. However, the marriage broke down when Bangaraja compromised with the Portuguese. 5 years later, the Portuguese built their first fort at Cochin. This was followed by the establishment of a ring of forts in the Indian Ocean region in India, Muscat, Mozambique, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, even as far as Macau in China. This, along with its superior naval technology, put the control of all the spice routes to India into the hands of the Portuguese within 20 years of Da Gama's historic voyage. In 1526, the Portuguese captured the Mangalore port. Their next target was Ullal, a thriving port town that lay nestled between the verdant peaks of the Western Ghats and the cerulean blue waters of the Arabian Sea. The Portuguese attacked with a larger force and were able to ransack the settlement at Ullal to some extent. However, Rani Abbakka's masterful battle tactics and diplomatic strategy pushed them back once again. During a battle, Portuguese army attacked Ullal and managed to capture the royal palace. However, Rani Abbakka escaped before they could capture her. Along with 200 loyal soldiers, she raided the Portuguese in the dead of night and killed the general along with 70 of his soldiers. Frightened by the ferocity of the attack, the remaining Portuguese troops fled to their ships. By this time, the Portuguese had become alarmed about Rani Abbakka's growing reputation inspiring other rulers. When repeated frontal attacks didn't work, they resorted to treachery. A series of edicts were passed to make any alliance with the defiant queen illegal. Her husband, Bangaraja of Mangalore, was also warned against sending any aid to Ullal under the threat of burning his capital. Rani Abbakka was returning from a visit to her family temple and was caught off guard, but she immediately mounted her horse and rode into the battle, leading her troops in a fierce counter-offensive. While many of the ships in the Portuguese armada burned that night, Rani Abbakka was wounded in the crossfire and was captured by the enemy with the help of a few bribed chieftains. Rebellious till the very end, the fearless queen breathed her last in captivity. However, the legacy lived on through her equally fierce and brave daughters who continued to defend Tulunadu from the Portuguese. She was an immensely popular queen, and even today she is a part of folk Rani Abbakka Chauta, the fearless warrior queen of Tulunadu. She could ride a horse, fight with a sword, and was a seasoned diplomat. She also had bloody battles with the Portuguese and was the last person to use Agnivanas or arrows tipped with fire. Chautas were the Jain kings who had migrated from Gujarat in the 12th century to Tulunadu, a province consisting of present-day Dakshin Kannada district of Karnataka, portions of Udupi and Kasaragod district in Kerala. Ullal was the capital of the Chauta king Nirmala Raya III. As the Chautas were a matrilineal dynasty, the king's heir was his young niece Abbakka. The fiercely independent princess had been trained in sword fighting, archery, cavalry, military strategy, diplomacy, and all other subjects of statecraft from a very young age. Before his death, Nirmala Raya III had arranged a strategic marriage alliance for Abbakka with Lakshmappa Bangaraja, the ruler of Mangalore. As the ruler of Ullal, Rani Abbakka continued to live in her own home even after marriage, and the couple's 3 children stayed with her. However, the marriage broke down when Bangaraja compromised with the Portuguese. 5 years later, the Portuguese built their first fort at Cochin. This was followed by the establishment of a ring of forts in the Indian Ocean region in India, Muscat, Mozambique, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, even as far as Macau in China. This, along with its superior naval technology, put the control of all the spice routes to India into the hands of the Portuguese within 20 years of Da Gama's historic voyage. In 1526, the Portuguese captured the Mangalore port. Their next target was Ullal, a thriving port town that lay nestled between the verdant peaks of the Western Ghats and the cerulean blue waters of the Arabian Sea. The Portuguese attacked with a larger force and were able to ransack the settlement at Ullal to some extent. However, Rani Abbakka's masterful battle tactics and diplomatic strategy pushed them back once again. During a battle, Portuguese army attacked Ullal and managed to capture the royal palace. However, Rani Abbakka escaped before they could capture her. Along with 200 loyal
ದೀಪವ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಸರಿಸಿದಿರಿ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯ
ನಗುವ ದೀಪವ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಸರಿಸಿದಿರಿ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯ
ಬೆಳಗಿ ನಮ್ಮನವು ಮುಂಬೆಳಗಿನಂತೆ
ಬೆಳಗಿ ಹೊಳೆಯಿತು ನಮ್ಮನವು ಮುಂಬೆಳಗಿನಂತೆ
ಜನರಭ್ಯುದಯ ಬಯಸೋ ಖಾವಂದರ ನುಡಿಗೆ
ಬದುಕುರಳೀತು ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೈತ್ರವರಳಿದಂತೆ
ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಮನವಿದು ಧರ್ಮ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮವನ್ನೇ ಬೆಳಗು ಸತ್ಯ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೆ
ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಮನವಿದು ಧರ್ಮ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮವನ್ನೇ ಬೆಳಗು
ಸತ್ಯ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೆ ಸತ್ಯ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೆ ಸತ್ಯ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೆ
Thank you for that round of applause by way of encouragement to the graceful dancers who brought to us contributions of Dharmadhikari Sri Virendra Hegde to the culture, literature and economy of this part of India. I would like to acknowledge the contributions of lyricist Dr. Vadiraja Kalluraya. He has composed the song for this special occasion and he is from the Department of Kannada of Excellent Educational Institution. Thank you, Dr. Vadiraj Kalluraya. Just as you wrote Namma Namana, we also say to you Namma Namana to you for your contributions. The musical composition of the dance has been by Mr. Bhagirath and Ms. Geeta, lecturers from Excellent College. We have one more dance performance coming to us in a short while from now. And when we go back to the life of Queen Abbakka, the thought perhaps that comes to our mind is that India has never been on the mode of confrontation. India has always fought wars just to defend itself. So was the case with every king and queen of India. And you, as people of Mudubidre, would definitely remember the lofty sentiments of Jainism which says, Shanno Dvipade Shan Chatushpade. The people belonging to the religion of Jainism truly believe in the idea that there should be peace among all, not only among the two-legged human beings, but also among the four-legged animals. This is the lofty sentiment of Jainism. This is the lofty sentiment of non-violence and peace. And we salute these lofty sentiments of Jainism in particular and all religions of India in general. arrival, and I take pleasure in saying a few words about Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman with a lot of pride. Forbes magazine has recognized her as the 36th most powerful woman in the whole world. Fortune magazine has recognized her as the most powerful woman in India. It is because of the incredible work that she has put in as the former Minister of Defense and the present Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs of Government of India. We are also happy that she represents Karnataka in the Rajya Sabha. It's actually a dream come true for all of us that she has agreed to be with us this evening, making the event memorable for us. And all eyes on the screen, please. She is being given the Guard of Honor by the NCC students of Excellent Education Foundation, and she is being accompanied by the dignitaries. We have Padma Vibhushan, Dr. D. Virendra Hegde. We have Shri S. Rajendra Kumar, Indian Postal Service, Chief Postmaster General, Karnataka Circle, Bengaluru. We also have Shri Umanath Kotyan, Member of Legislative Assembly, Mudupidri. Shri Mahendra Singhi, who is the Director of this commemorative committee. Shri
ಚರಣ ಕಮಲಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆ ದೇವನೇ ಕರು ಸೈಯದೀನ ಬಂದು ಜೀವ ಕೋಟಿ ಕಾರ್ವನೇ ಚರಣ ಕಮಲಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮಿಸಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆ ದೇವನೇ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆ.
We will have the prayer song, not right now, students. We will await the arrival and they will take their position on the stage, and then we will have our students bringing to us their soulful prayer to mark the occasion. All of you onto your feet, please. We have the arrival of the phenomenal woman, a great leader of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, Honorable Finance Minister, Government of India, New Delhi, as our chief guest. She has flown all the way to Mangalore, the coastal belt of Karnataka, just to be with us, to unveil the stamp and to take part in the releasing program. And she is accompanied by Padma Vibhushan, Dr. D. Virendra Hegde, a member of Rajya Sabha, whose contributions to society are incomparable. We also have Shri S. Rajendra Kumar, who truly believes in the motto, service before help. We request Shri Umanath Kotyan, Member of Legislative Assembly, Mudbidre, who believes in action but not in position, to come to the stage. Shri Mahendra Singhi, Director of this particular committee, is not only a good leader but a great leader as well. Shri Kuldeep, as all of us know, reminds us of the Chauta dynasty because he belongs to the lineage of Rani Abbakka. We have a special person, Dr. Tukaram Pujari, President Rani Abbakka Tulu Adhyayana Kendra, and we have Shri Surendra Kumar, Vice President, Shri Dharmasthala Educational Society, brother of Shri Virendra Hegde, and Shri Surendra Kumar is with his wife, Srimati Anita Surendra Kumar. We are indeed privileged to have them all on the stage, and if this dream has come into reality, it is because of the vision and the hard work of the chairman of Excellent Education Foundation, and my reference is to Shri Yuvraj Jain, and the secretary of this prestigious education foundation, Srimati Rashmita Jain. As I have announced, the bottom line for the evening will be that we save time because we would like to listen to our Honorable Finance Minister. We would like to use the maximum time to listen to her message as well as the message of the presiding officer of the evening, Dharmadhikari Shri Virendra Hegde. May I now request our students of Excellent Education Foundation to bring to us soulful prayer, and for this, may I request all of you to remain seated in prayerful silence. Over to you, dear students, for your prayer.
Gare sa gare 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 sa gare 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 sa ni sa re pava gare pava gare pava gare ni sa gare sa ni sa gare gare sa ni sa gare sa rama param jyoti koti chandranitya kirana sumyana prakasha surarama kundamani ranjita charanam sharanam prathamajidisha
Thank you, dear students. You have shown to us that it is not only in times of difficulty, but also in times of celebration that we have to send our prayers to God and thank Him for His bountiful, generous blessings on us. We now have Srimati Rashmita Jain, Secretary of excellent group of institutions, who has been renowned for her stellar performance in this belt, to offer words of welcome and also give a brief about Queen Abbakka Devi.
Pujya Virendra Hegde ji, Nirmala Sitaraman ji, seeking blessings, and we begin this program. Good evening one and all present here. We've been an immense privilege to host the most remarkable and indelible unsung brave heroine of the freedom struggle event, Rani Abbakka postal stamp releasing program. On this auspicious occasion, we have with us Honorable Finance Minister of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman ji, as our chief guest. Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman ji is an Indian economist, politician and senior leader of BJP. She served as the national spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party. She became India's second woman defense minister, creating history by leading the Balkot airstrike in response to the 2019 Pulwama attack. 2019, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman ji again created landmark, becoming the first full-time women finance and corporate affairs minister during the challenging COVID-19 pandemic. She steered the economic response task force, showcasing her adeptness in handling complex economic situations. It is worth mentioning that recently Forbes Business Magazine 2023 has recognized and honored Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman ji as one of the most influential women who secured 34th rank in world. Under her fiscal leadership, India achieved a remarkable milestone, rising to become the world's 5th largest economy in 2022. On behalf of everyone present here, a warm and hearty welcome to you, Madam. We have the great honor of hosting an eminent person, Pujya Hegde ji, Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala, the president of today's program. His influence not only left an everlasting mark on the spiritual landscape of our nation, but has also profoundly impacted countless lives. Pujya Hegde ji has established more than 55 educational institutions, various social and cultural institutions, and his commitment to rural development, healthcare, and cultural preservation reflects a holistic dedication to societal needs. Pujya Hegde ji has been honored with many national, international prestigious awards, including Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan, recognizing the profound impact of his dedicated service to society. Please join me in extending a heartful welcome to Pujya Dr. D. Virendra Hegde ji, a true visionary, a spiritual leader, our role model, and importantly, the main reason for this program to take place in this institution. We have another special guest with us, the Chief Postmaster General of Karnataka Circle, Bangalore, Sri Rajendra Kumar sir. He has taken keen interest in organizing this event. With great pleasure, I cordially welcome to you, sir. I welcome. It is my pleasure to welcome Sri Umanath Kotian, MLA of Mudbidri, well-wisher and guiding force of our institution. As a people personality leader, we envisioned the overall development of Mulki Mudbidri. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I also recognize the gracious presence of Sri Naveen Chandar, Senior Superintendent of Post Office of Puttur Division, Director of Rani Abbakka Devi, India, a post-commemorative stamp committee. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Shri Surendra Kumar Hegde, sir, Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Srimati Anita Surendra Kumar, belonging to Chauta family of Rani Abbakka, with profound respect, I welcome you, ma'am. I also recognize the gracious presence of Shri Naveen Chandar, Senior Superintendent of Post Office of Puttur Division, a descendant of Rani Abbakka Devi, Shri Kuldeep Chowta Palace. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Tukaram Pujari, Chairman of Rani Abbakka Tulu Adhyayana Kendra Bantwal. I welcome you, sir. Conveners of this program, Shri Mahendra Singh, Dr. B.P. Sampath Kumar and Shri Mahendra Kundur, I welcome you, sir. Distinguished guests, invitees, media persons, directors, principals, headmaster, faculty members of excellent institution and all my dear students, I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. From verbal welcome to now, we move on to welcome with token felicitation, with our token of love. Now is the time to honor all the dignitaries on the days. May I now request Dharmadhikari, Dr. Virendra Hegde, to show how honored we are with the presence of Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, Finance Minister, Government of India, New Delhi, by adorning her with a shawl. Ma'am, your performance has been incredible and it has been a phenomenal performance and we are indebted to have you. Rashmita Jain will garland Srimati Nirmala Sitaram and will also, the chairman and the secretary will also honor them with other dignitaries on the days. We move over to the honoring of Dr. D. Virendra Hegde. We recognize his incomparable contributions to society, and chairman and secretary will now honor Shri D. Virendra Hegde. I request the chairman and secretary to honor Dr. D. Virendra Hegde. Now is the time to recognize the presence of Shri S. Rajendra Kumar, Indian Postal Services, Chief Postmaster General, Karnataka Circle, Bengaluru. The chairman and the secretary and all the other dignitaries take pleasure in honoring Shri S. Rajendra Kumar. Shri Umanath Kotian sir, your presence brings to us immense joy. Thank you for being with us. Shri Mahendra Singhi, Director of the committee. The occasion has become more memorable for us with your presence, sir. Shri Kuldeep is the director of the committee and also the one who belongs to the lineage of Rani Abbakka. His presence is special indeed. Sitaraman Pujari, President, Rani Abbakka, Tulu Adhyayana Kendra. Your presence is recognized with a deep sense of joy and gratitude. Shri Surendra Kumar, Vice President, Shri Dharmasthala Educational Foundation, is here with us, and it is with immense joy that we welcome you to the program, sir. With equal pleasure, we extend our hearty welcome to Srimati Anita Surendra Kumar, who is one more person belonging to the Chauta dynasty of Mudubidri. Your presence has added a lot of significance to the evening. Thank you very much, Shri Yuvaraj Jain and Srimati Rashmita Jain, for the honoring ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the moment of moments, the much awaited moment, the release and presentation of Rani Abbakka Devi India post-commemorative stamp, even as we remain indebted to the Government of India for this move, recognizing the contributions of the first freedom fighter of India. We also remember with gratitude the contributions of Excellent Education Foundation. May I now request Shri Rajendra Kumar, along with Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, to conduct the ceremony of the stamp release. We have our Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, who is now being presented the commemorative stamp, and each of the dignitaries is also being presented with the album which has the commemorative stamp. And let's remember that it was in the 16th century that Rani Abbakka showed to the world what a woman leader could do for her people with courage and vision and, of course, selflessness. It was in the 16th century that this queen, belonging to one of the most revered religions of the world, Jainism, showed that India will never confront but will always defend its people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more auspicious ceremony, and that is the unveiling of Rani Abbakka Devi India post-commemorative stamp blow-up. May I request our technical support to take the switch to Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman for the unveiling. It's going to be done physically. The veil will now be parted by Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the blow-up of the India Post commemorative stamp of Rani Abbakka Devi. This is indeed a historic moment for all of us. After those two auspicious ceremonies, we have one more very special ceremony this evening, and that is the release of the special edition of Manorama, the news bulletin of Excellent Education Foundation. This special bulletin this particular painting has been handpicked by Shri Dr. Tukaram Pujari, President Rani Abbakka Tulu Adhyayana Kendra, and the painting is by Shri Vasudeva Kamath. Out of the many images that we have in the Adhyayana Kendra, this particular image has been chosen to show to us our valiant queen, both bold and beautiful, not only in appearance but also in her deeds and heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more special moment, and that is the release of the special edition of Manorama. And this is the news bulletin of the Education Foundation. And this particular bulletin is dedicated to Queen Devi Abbakka, the fearless queen of Chauta dynasty. It was Rani Abbakka who protected us for 3 decades, putting up a brave and valiant fight against the incessant attacks by the Portuguese. Today, if we can hold our head high with pride, it is because of contributions of queens like Rani Abbakka. We have a small change according to the protocol that has been given to us. So we now move over to the observatory remarks by Shri S. Rajendra Kumar of Indian Postal Services. He is the Honorable Chief Postmaster General of Indian Government Postal Service. And sir, we know that you follow the dictum of service before help.
ಮಾನ್ಯ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ವಿತ್ತ ಸಚಿವರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮ್ ಅವರೇ, ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಕಾವಂದರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿರಾಜಮಾನರಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಈ ದಿನ ತುಳುನಾಡಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕ ದಿನ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ದೇವಿಯ ಸ್ಮರಣಾರ್ಥ ಅಂಚೆ ಚೀಟಿಯ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. Madam, this is a great honor, and the story of Rani Abbakka has to be told nationally and internationally, and today's stamp release does that. Just briefly, this coastal land of Karnataka had trade relations across the seas for over 2,000 years, and the traders have been carrying on their activities without fear. When the Portuguese arrived here, the Vijayanagar Empire was at its peak, and Vijayanagar was receptive to foreign trade, and that is how they have invited the Portuguese to do trade along with the local traders here. As the Vijayanagar Empire declined, the Portuguese started having political ambitions, and they started demanding taxes from the local traders. The year 1556 is known in the history of India as the year in which the second battle of Panipat was fought, where the Mughal Emperor Akbar came to power. But that was the year when Rani Abbakka refused to pay the tax that was demanded by the Portuguese. And she not only refused, she also defended the ships of the neighboring regions who were coming to this port. And there were a lot of minor skirmishes in which she was victorious against the Portuguese. Unfortunately, in the year 1565, that is just 9 years after the Battle of Panipat, if you can see, the Vijayanagar Empire, the Vijayanagar Empire fell, and then the Portuguese have become emboldened, and within 2 years of the fall of the Vijayanagar Empire, in the 1567, the Portuguese army invaded the kingdom of Rani Abbakka. She fought valiantly and had a convincing victory over the Portuguese army and the Portuguese navy, and they had to flee the scene. And that is how she has led her troops and succeeded in preventing the Portuguese from establishing their sovereignty here in this area. Of course, the Portuguese had a mightier military and they recouped, and then also due to some local help, they were able to overcome the resistance of Rani Abbakka. But the incident really will go down in history as one of the best and the first expressions of self-reliance in India, and that is what we are commemorating here today with the release of the stamp on Rani Abbakka. And I thank the organizers for having come forward and sponsored this event so that the story can be told, and not only in India but all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that highly learned inputs that you have given us, bringing to us pages from history. We remain indebted to you. We move on to the presidential remarks by Dharmadhikari, Dr. D. Virendra Hegde, who has given to his society not one, not two, not three, but 5 decades of path-breaking contributions in social, cultural, and economic development of his people and the land that he belongs to. Sir, I would like to inform you that before you arrived at the venue, the students of Excellent Education Foundation, under the music and song set by Dr. Vadiraj and Mr. Bhagirathi and Ms. Geeta, had a special performance in honor of you. I now request you to address all of us.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ ನಮಃ. ಮೂಡುಬಿದಿರೆ ಆ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಎಲ್ಲ 18 ಬಸದಿಗಳ ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸಿ, ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ದೆಹಲಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿತ್ತ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಶಾಸಕರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೋಟ್ಯಾನ್ರವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಯುವರಾಜ್ರವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರಶ್ಮಿಯವರೇ, ಮತ್ತಿತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತಿರುವಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು, ಆನರಬಲ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಅವರೇ, ಮತ್ತಿತರೆಲ್ಲ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೂಡುಬಿದಿರೆಯ ಗಣ್ಯರೇ ಮತ್ತು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ದೇವಿಯನ್ನು ತೆರೆಮರೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ರಾಣಿ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ನಾಟ್ ನೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. When I invited Honorable Finance Minister to this function, she immediately said, I know her. So I was convinced of 2 things. One is, knowing her in Delhi by the Finance Minister itself gave me a feeling of honor and I was so much enlightened to hear that she knows about, not only she said, I know her, but she said, of course, I know her. That was the expression she gave. And secondly, I was also slightly convinced that she will accept our invitation of Yuvraj and come down to Mudbidri, because she knows the value of Abbakka Rani's valor and her honor. The most beautiful part of the story is Rani Abbakka Devi had to fight 2 things. Every woman has to have 2 faces. One is family life and an external life, of either social or public or political or something else. Rani Abbakka Devi, she was not only had to fight in the family with her husband. Her husband always stood against her, maybe because she was, in those days, they had never tolerated women to be free from the control of the men. So they always thought that women should be inside the house, caring for the family, caring for the animals, caring for the agriculture, and only to take care of the family. So he was so jealous of her, perhaps, and he joined hands with Portuguese to fight against Abbakka Devi. So this was the worst thing that could happen. The other side is she had to fight as queen of the Ulal. So she had to fight with the 2 things. One is internally the family. When her husband himself is against her, she had to fight internally. So she was not able to understand who is her enemy inside the palace. She was not able to know who is in her favor. She was not able to find who was supporting her in the kingdom. But it was not a kingdom of Mysore Maharaja or Vijayanagara Empire. It was a small empire, small country, small area of control under her control. But she could fight both. Inside the family she had to fight. She could fight with the Portuguese, and that is the speciality of a woman's strength. So now woman has two roles to play. One is she has to keep the family happy. She has to give attention to the family members, especially children. She has to take care of the family, agriculture, families, animals, family. She has to care of everything of her family. At the same time, she has to maintain the dignity of the family, dignity of the society, and everything. So Abbakka had that extraordinary strength of fighting against the Portuguese. So Portuguese were, I imagine in those days, Portuguese were supposed to be very powerful. There is another queen called as Chennabhaira Devi. We have a mantap in 1,000 pillar temples called as Chennabhaira Devi Mantapa. It was built by her. She was in Honavar at the same time, and she had to fight against Portuguese to stop them from coming down to south, this side of the country. So she was very famous in that area. So I am trying to build a memorial for her. Only problem is I am asking for 2 acres of land in Honavar belonging to government, forest department. If the forest department permits, I will construct a beautiful memory for her, because she was also responsible to stop Portuguese from coming down from that Portugal to, they came down to Goa. From Goa they wanted to come down to Kerala through this coastal route and occupy all these areas. But she was very valorous. With valor she fought against the British, the Portuguese. She stopped them from coming down to south. So she took help of Abbakka's administration here to see that they don't cross this area. So she took care to see that the Chennabhaira would cross Bullala area where Portuguese were very permanently fighting against the local people. She somehow made them to cross to Kerala. So these two queens are revered and honored by our people here. And I'm very happy that Rani Abbakka Devi's memory is remembered now, though late. It's not too late. For last 25 to 50 years, we have been talking about her, we have been remembering her. Many monuments are made to remember her, but this is the greatest monument one can think of. Postal stamp. This postal stamp is a permanent memory of that great lady who contributed for the freedom of this area. She fought against the foreigners and she made several tricky attacks. For example, when she found that Portuguese was very strong, she made boats to she caught a hold of the local fishermen and she wanted to float in the sea and show them that we are also very powerful. But at night, she made to hold many these lamps in their hands. So instead of one man carrying one, she made several lamps to be held in her hand. So the Portuguese watching from our ship, they thought it's not 100 people coming, 1,000 people coming. So they were not able to fight against, they thought it's not difficult to fight against these people. We thought it's a small group, but now we find a lot of thousands of people are here. But actually there were not thousands, there were only few hundreds, but they had 3 or 4 lamps in their hands. It was a trick she played against the Portuguese. So such tricks were played by women, and now we have to honor that every woman in this country has to be honored for her strength. Now we passed, I was present in the Rajya Sabha when the women's bill was passed. Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman played a very important role in this passing of this bill, and she wanted all of us, the Rajya Sabha members, to be present. And I am very happy that without one vote against the bill, 100% the bill voting was done for the bill from all the parties of the Rajya Sabha, and I am happy that the bill was passed. And in that bill we have really honored the women of this country we have again committed, showing that we have great respect for you. And all the girls who are here, I want you to grow without feeling that you are sidelined. You can be sure that the finance minister is a lady of our country. And you can also be, you are in the army now, you are in the air force now, you are in the navy now, you are in the police now, you are in all areas of activities, you are there. Your political leadership also you are leading now. Prime President of India herself is a lady, so you can be assured that you will be not denied any opportunity thinking that you are a girl or a woman. So be sure that you have a great future in this country, and I wish that you all grow with a strong head, and we also commit yourself to the growth of the nation, commit yourself to the growth of the country, and see that you all contribute for the growth of the country. May Manjunath Swami bless you all. And I am very happy that Yuvaraj, who is running this institution, has organized this function in his campus. He was very doubtful whether Honorable Minister can come here, but I just said I will take a chance and invite her. If your luck, it is to luck, if God permits, she will come. So with Rashmita and Yuvaraj's efforts, the program has been organized, and many people were surprised to see Honorable Finance Minister in this campus for this function. But it is Abbakka's name and contribution for the growth of this country and women has brought her here. It is not me or somebody, Yuvaraj or somebody, but it is Rani Abbakka's name, fame, and contribution to for the freedom of this nation and womanhood. It has brought her here. I thank her for her accepting our invitation, coming over here. I also appreciate the department for their contribution through Mr. Rajendran. And also I wish that Yuvaraj and Rashmita Jain will continue their services in this area, and this institution will grow to greater heights. May Manjunath Swami bless you all.
Thank you, Most Reverend Dr. Dharmadhikari Sri Virendra Hegde, for your informative presidential address. You showed to us that even in the 16th century, we had women who could be the beacon of guidance for contemporary women. Thank you, sir. We sincerely, fervently hope that you will have all good fortune coming your way in all the good work that you intend to do for the community. Thank you very much. You brought to our memory the guerrilla warfare of Rani Abbakka and the fire bows that she sent. Thank you very much for that, arrows rather. They say that nobody can hold a torch to the sun. Likewise, we cannot be audacious to say that we will introduce our Honorable Finance Minister to you. Nevertheless, we do have a video which will capture the essence of the incredible work that she has put in as the leader of the Indian political arena. All eyes on the screen for a short video on the contributions made by Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, Honorable Finance Minister. for all your achievements. And we say with a lot of admiration and humility that you are our inspiration, dear Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, for all of us women, and you're also an inspiration to each one gathered here as a leader of this great nation, a great leader of a great nation. May I now request you, ma'am, to address us.
Namaskara. Pujya Shri Hegdeji, the founder and president of this excellent education center, the MLA of Moodbidri, descendants of Rani Abbakka's family, and all associated with the Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala, the institution which does excellent public service. If I can, and also the wonderful gathering of students, media, and the thinking citizens of Moodbidri. First of all, thank you very much, Pujya Hegdeji, for having called me here, and of course on behalf of the school. It gives me a great chance to get inspired by, no word can adequately describe the bravery of this great queen of Tulu land, Rani Abbakka. Unbelievable courage and the kind of conviction with which she fought for her people is not something we can imitate or even copy. And those were very difficult days. And the Portuguese were known to be ruthless colonial rulers. From among the various imperial rulers, the British, the Dutch, the French, and then the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Portuguese. The Portuguese were known for cruelty. And to stand up against that is not a small task, not once, but 7 times, if I know. I've just looked at the history. It started off in 1525, and sequentially it's been happening after that. 1525, I see, the first time Mangaluru port was attacked. Rani Abbakka was alerted by that incident, and she started preparing her kingdom for it. And the second attack came in 1555. And a particular admiral of the navy of the Portuguese came to fight against her, only because she refused to pay the tribute, the money which had to be given. And in that battle, Rani Abbakka fought like a tigress and successfully sent that admiral back. But in 1557 again, the Portuguese came to Mangaluru and completely destroyed Mangaluru. Mangaluru by that time was a very active port, a lot of spice trade was happening, a lot of very many merchant ships came there. So Mangaluru was plundered. That was in 1557. But within a year, the Portuguese army again came, only to display cruelty. They killed men and women randomly, anybody, civilian, common public. Old, young, they didn't care. They plundered temples. They burnt ships. And finally also, they set the whole town to fire. Mangaluru was completely burnt down. So after that, in 1558, a fourth attack happened in 1567, and that attack was on Ullal. There again, they were cruel, showered destruction completely. And Rani Abbakka, of course, stood against it and guarded her fort, guarded her people. But worse was to come in 1568. An army general, a Portuguese army general, and also a navy assisting him, came, and the Portuguese viceroy had sent them, so they came with full authority and power. They captured the city of Ullal. They also entered the royal court of Rani Abbakka. But she was clever, not only brave. Like was mentioned, she was very clever. She knew the strength and weaknesses of her enemy. So she escaped from there and she took refuge in a mosque. And after that, on the same night, she gathered around 200 of her soldiers and mounted an attack against the Portuguese all over again. She was not discouraged by defeat. She was not discouraged seeing the destruction. She was not discouraged by the cruelty of the Portuguese. She wanted to somehow defeat them. So she kept her spirit high. And in that battle, that general who came with the viceroy's strength was killed by Rani Abbakka and her soldiers. And 70 Portuguese soldiers were taken into custody as prisoners, and many of them, many Portuguese, just went back. They retreated, seeing her power. The sixth attack happened in 1569. But in that attack, unfortunately, the Portuguese gained control over Mangaluru port. And not only that, they captured Kundapur, which is called Basrur, I think, at that time. So despite all this, Rani Abbakka still wanted to keep her defense, if not go on an offensive attack. By which time, the treachery at home had begun. Openly, her husband was scheming against her. And with his help, more attacks happened. Furious battles followed. And in 1570, she formed an alliance with the Bijapur Sultans, that is the Bijapur Sultan of Ahmednagar, and also with the Zamorin of Calicut. So combined force, again they opposed the Portuguese. There was a general who was sent by the Zamorins from Calicut to fight on her behalf. If I get his name right, he was called Kutti Pokar Markar. He fought on behalf of Rani Abbakka because this entire Tulu land and also south of Goa had to be kept out of the Portuguese. So when in this fight, the general of Zamorin really destroyed the Portuguese and sent them back and restored the Portuguese fort. But when he was returning, the Portuguese killed him, the general. But after all this, Rani Abbakka's own husband and his treachery, which has been there, which Pujya Swami Hegadeji mentioned, consistently he had been working against her, his own people. The queen is fighting, and the queen's consort was only fully full of treachery and working together with the enemy. She was arrested, taken, she lost the war, she was put in the prison, and even in the prison she fought till her death. Nothing could defeat her will to fight for the people of Tulu land. That is Rani Abbakka. And that is why she is called Abhaya Rani. She had no fear. Not because she was holding the sword, and she was known to have used the fire arrow, Agni Bana. She was the last one to use that. In Indian kings and queens history, she used that Bana, Agni Bana also. So that kind of a bravery, if for all the girls who are sitting here, what is remembered is Rani Abbakka's bravery. And what is also remembered, and that too of a man, is treachery. Treachery of the husband. Treachery of a Tulu man. When the Tulu woman is fighting, here is one, that black sheep Tulu man. All Tulu men are fighting along with the queen. And here is just that one man who let his own wife be captured by the enemy of the land. Enemy of all Tulu people. Enemy of all people who are fighting against an imperial rule. But the message that Rani Abbakka gives us is you have to be brave, you have to be sure that you have Sama, Gana, Beda, Danda to fight your enemy. But even more, you don't know where your enemy is, but even without letting them down, because she kept to the dharma that she was married to the man. She didn't do anything to him, but suffered because of his treachery. So that man is known for treachery, and she is known for bravery. Of course, Rani Abbakka's stories are even now recited by yakshaganas and folk songs all over Tulu Nadu. And this portrait is such a beautiful dedication to her, drawn by Mr. Shetty, I think. Look at the Vasudev Shetty. Vasudev Kamath, sorry. Vasudev Kamath. The reason why I'm mentioning it is, he gave her a very correct local woman's image. But what I can't miss is the fire in that eye, the laser sharp look that she gives. The artist has beautifully captured that. In 2003, Government of India issued a special cover to honor Rani Abbakka. Very many dedications are made to her, and I'm happy to say Prime Minister Modi, during Azad Ka Amrith Mahotsav, when India was celebrating 75 years of independence from the British rule, made it a point to document the history of every freedom fighter less known in this country, who were prior to 1947, who were prior to the well-known freedom movement of India, which was of course led by Mahatma Gandhi. But prior to that, in every part of India, there were men and women who were fighting all the imperial rulers. Some were fighting against the Dutch, some fought against the French, some, like Abbakka Devi, were fighting against the Portuguese. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi very clearly had a team working on it to carve out the stories of bravery long back from 16th century, 15th century, if there were any, get them all out. And in that process, Rani Abbakka's heroic fight against the Portuguese has been documented. And in fact, Doordarshan was made to make a film and show it, and we all watched it. All ministers sat and watched it. It was also shown to all our members of parliament. There is a hall in which all the members of parliament sit and have some meetings and so on. Every Tuesday when the parliament is in session, we meet in that It is called Balayogi Auditorium. In that auditorium, Prime Minister made all the members of Parliament watch that Doordarshan film on Rani Abbakka. It was so well made. So Azadi Ka Amrith Mahotsav did not at all forget Rani Abbakka and her sacrifice. It was shown, and it is a film worth watching. Many members of Parliament from other parts of India were really surprised that in the coastal area of Karnataka, there was this lady queen who fought against the Portuguese on land and on sea. She could plan for a navy flotilla, which, as was described earlier, showed the prowess and also showed remarkable deception to make the Portuguese frightened of her strength, which she cleverly exaggerated because she was at that stage under severe threat. So all this was captured in that film, and I would like to tell you, it is worth watching it. There were 2 lakh events and programs that have been organized in the last 2 years to recall the stories of Rani Abbakka and many others who come from different parts of the country. There was another queen in South Tamil Nadu called Velu Nachiyar, equally brave. And of course, she had a slightly different set of environment where she was fighting it. But the point I'm trying to drive is, many of these stories are not part of our history books. We need to take them to every house, every school, and make it necessary for our children to know it. And in that regard, a digital repository has been compiled with 14,500 stories. In the context of Azadi Ka Amrith Mahotsav, this digital repository at the district level is available, and I wish and I will certainly request the district collector to have a school by school show of what is in it, what is in the district repository. And it also highlights places linked to freedom struggle, and it is taken at the micro level. Pujya Hegdeji was right in saying Battle of Panipat, possibly also referred to by the Postmaster General. Not just those kind of big names. This repository, which is digital district level repository, has micro level details also which are made available. We also made it, the Ministry of Culture also made it possible for Amar Chitra Katha to publish 3 books on brave women of our freedom struggle. It has very interesting anecdote and story of Rani Abbakka in it. Amar Chitra Katha was made to do it, and in that Rani Abbakka's story is there. So Prime Minister Modi has made sure the stories of Rani Abbakka are documented. There is also another book, Amar Chitra Katha, on women in power, about women who were in the Constituent Assembly. Third, tribal leaders of the freedom struggle are also becoming a part of Amar Chitra Katha. So through Amar Chitra Katha, a lot of these unknown stories are being made possible for children to know and understand. In this context, even as we talk about Rani Abbakka, I want to take 1 minute and speak about freedom fighters from Karnataka who are less known outside. I'll just take the name. They were very prominent in their fight. Rani Chennamma, of the Rani of Kitturu. She had armed rebellion against the British. Also Gangadarao Deshpande, the Lion of Karnataka. N.S. Hardikar, Dr. Narayan Rao Kabburu, R.S. Hukkerikar, Yashodhara Dasappa, and very many others. In Dakshin Kannada district alone, there are numerous unsung heroes, numerous. And they've all been documented in the Azad Ka Amrith Mahotsav documentary, the district level digital documentary, and so on. So in addition to Rani Abbakka, Dakshin Kannada, I would like to take in this context the names of others. There can be many more, I am only taking limited number of names. U. Srinivas Mallayya, who was known for framing the Indian Constitution along with very many other prominent leaders inclusive of Dr. Ambedkar. Father of modern Dakshina Kannada district, that's the title which is given to him. Karnad Sadashiva Rao, one of the first from Karnataka to volunteer to serve alongside Mahatma Gandhi in a Satyagraha movement. Harivishnu Kamath left ICS. He was in the Indian Civil Service, the British version of it, not the Indian Administrative Service. He left that ICS, which was a very powerful position to hold and a lot of money as salary and comfort. He left it and joined the freedom struggle. He played a remarkable role in the Constituent Assembly. We remember him today in the context of talking about Rani Abbakka. Umabai Kundapur, another great woman who organized volunteers for the 1924 Belgaum Congress session. The freedom fighting movement, Congress movement as it was called, had people of all kinds of ideological backgrounds and lineage. They were all together in the freedom movement. And therefore, the Congress freedom movement moved from one part of the country to another so that they have every region taken along. So, one such a meeting in 1924 was held in Belgaum, and Umabai Kundapur organized women volunteers for this, and she was jailed for her role in civil disobedience movement, and later on appointed Karnataka provincial Pratinidhi of Kasturiba Gandhi Memorial Trust in 1946. Now, I recounted all this only because Karnataka, Dakshin Kannada have all got brilliant minds, brilliant dedicated people who have worked to keep this country together. Prime Minister Modi never misses an opportunity to highlight the importance of women and their role. No wonder the bill was passed. Of course, it has to go through the census, the delimitation, and post that nobody can stop reservation for women from happening. People can question it. But once these two are done, and the census in all probability will happen in 24, post which the delimitation, and after that, the Women's Reservation Bill will come into force. But equally, as was referred earlier, it was during my time in defense, Prime Minister Modi clearly gave us an advice. We want women to join armed forces. We want women to go through the Sainik school process so that they can get into the National Defense Academy and qualify for the officer level positions in the defense establishment. Today we have women. Today we have women flying the Rafale, flying our own Indian-made Tejas. Navy, some of the warships have Indian women recruited, and so is the army. So, in fact, I don't want to impose a thought which is running in my mind off the cuff, and I submit it in all my humility before Pujya Hegde ji. This region is known so much for educational institutions. Rani Abbakka is an eternal inspiration for all of us. You should actually think of having a Sainik school in her name in this area. Why do I get the feeling that the clap was very muted? Rani Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, Rani Abbakka, they are all before us, inspiring us to be sure that we are committed for this country. Every woman of India should aspire to get some qualities from them, if not all qualities. We should dedicate ourselves not just to follow the dharma, which is what you have. Pujya Hegdeji here, he's the dharmadikari. We should follow dharma, we should keep that at core of whatever we do. Every Indian, in fact globally, people realize the relevance of the eternal law, which is almost a cosmic law, which is dharma. It's the eternal principle. You cannot go against it. You will be drawn back to follow it. And you have the Adhikari sitting here reminding us every day of what it means. But if that has to be followed and if that has to be intact and respected, you need the bravery of Rani Abbakka to protect that dharma. Because dharmo rakshati rakshita. Only if you protect dharma can you have dharma. So this land of the brave, the Tulu land, it's an ancient land. You know, I truly have goose pimples when I think of this land. Very ancient language. So many actually historical and archaeological study will know, if they do it here, so much more about India's regional richness will come out. So one can of course talk about this for a very, very long hour, completely 1 hour, 2 hours, but I won't take more of your time. I'm indeed moved by the fact that you thought it fit that I should be here for doing this work. I draw a lot of inspiration from the valiant Queen Rani Abbakka, and I wish every one of you here will become the future Abbakkas to stand for India. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at Excellent Academy, and I'm sure that the message by our Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, has had the stamp of very high level of excellence, ma'am. Your power of analysis in the field of finance, defense, corporate, but today you showed your power of analysis in understanding the psyche of women, the different dimensions of women. You have been a true trendsetter for all the girls of Excellent Education Foundation. And I'm sure there isn't a single heart that hasn't been moved by your speech, which has been a lofty speech coupled with the power of narration of a story. You made us relive every incident in the life of Abhayarani, Queen Abbakka, and we remain indebted to you that you chose to be with us after having traveled miles and miles to be here in this small place of Mudubidre, making us all have the joy of having you as our chief guest for this commemorative postage stamp releasing ceremony. Truly, very truly, we remain indebted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are acutely aware of the time that we are taking of all the dignitaries on the days, and we already have Dr. B.P. Sampath Kumar, convener Rani Abbakka Devi Commemorative Stamp Committee, with this very short vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to all. Seeking the blessings of Pujya Dr. D. Virendra Hegdeji, I feel honored to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks in this historical occasion. First of all, I extend our deepest gratitude to Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman ji, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs. Your presence as the chief guest added immense honor to the occasion and made it truly memorable for everyone in the gathering. We are sincerely thankful for the time and effort you dedicated to join us in celebrating the legacy of Rani Abbakka Devi, a woman of exceptional strength and courage. Thank you, Madam. Our most respectful gratitude to Pujya Dr. D. Virendra Hegdeji, Dharmadhikari of Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala, for gracing, guiding, and motivating this historical occasion with the divine presence and kind words. Sir, with your blessings and support, we are able to make this event fruitful. Thank you, sir. We are extremely thankful to Shri Rajendra Kumar, Chief Postmaster General, Karnataka, for his support and guidance and gracious presence. Thank you, sir. We are also thankful to respected MLA of Shri Umanath Kotyan for enormous support and guidance in organizing this program successfully. Thank you very much, sir. We are extremely thankful to Shri Yuvraj Jain, Chairman of this institution, and Srimati Rashmita Jain, Secretary of this institution, for organizing this historically memorable and very worthwhile program in this institution. Thank you both. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Shri Surendra Kumar, Vice President of SDM Educational Society, and Srimati Anita Surendra Kumar, Shri Kuldeep, Chautas Palace, Mudbidre, belonging to lineage of Chautas dynasty, Shri Mahavira Singhi, Director of Commemorative Committee, and Shri Tukaram Pujari, Chairman of Rani Abbakka Devi Tulu Adhyayana Kendra Bantwal, Shri Mahavir Kundur, Convener of the Committee, distinguished invitees, almost all the parts of the district, officials of the post and other government departments, media persons, directors, principals, HM, staff members, and all my dear students, and all the supporting team for your assistance to make the event fruitful. Thank you, one and all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this historic program of the release of the commemorative postage stamp of Rani Abbakka, and we remain indebted to all the dignitaries who graced the program. Yes, and in order to make this more memorable, we do have refreshments, but I would like to know from the organizers about the dance program that the students are yet to perform. Yes. In which case, we move and have our refreshments. I thank you wholeheartedly for your... Yes, the students are already ready with their costume. If you don't mind, please give them your time. And this dance is actually dedicated to Rani Abbakka. The previous dance at the beginning of the program was dedicated to Dharmadhikari Shri Virendra Hegde. And now we have a dance performance by the students of Excellent Education Foundation. And this dance is dedicated to Rani Abbakka. May I request you to give your time to the students who have toiled hard for this particular performance.
Remember me?
ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ತೌಳವ ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಮುಕುಟಮಣಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ತೌಳವ ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಮುಕುಟಮಣಿ ಕೂಳರಿಗಾದಳು ದಿಗಿಲಪ್ಪರ ಸೊಳೆ ಶೀಲವಾರಿದಿಯು ಯಶೋದಗಣಿ ಕೂಳರಿಗಾದಳು ದಿಗಿಲಪ್ಪರ ಸೊಳೆ ಶೀಲವಾರಿದಿಯು ಯಶೋದಗಣಿ ಶೀಲವಾರಿದಿಯು ಯಶೋದಗಣಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ವಂಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿದಳದಟರ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಡಗಿಸಿದಳು ಅರಿನೃಪ ಜಾಲವ ಹುಟ್ಟಡಗಿಸಿದಳು ಅರಿನೃಪ ಜಾಲವ ಥಟ್ಟನೆಯೊಲಿಯುತ್ತ ರೋಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಥಟ್ಟನೆಯೊಲಿಯುತ್ತ ರೋಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ಕಲಿತಳು ಇಂದು ಮುಖಿ ತಿರುಮಲರಾಯನು ನೀಡಿದ ವಿದ್ಯೆಯ ಹುರುಪಲಿ ಕಲಿತಳು ಇಂದು ಮುಖಿ ಹೋರಾಟದಿ ಖಳಮೇಳವ ತರಿದ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟದಿ ಖಳಮೇಳವ ತರಿದ್ಯ ನಾರಿ ಮಾರಿ ಗಂಭೀರ ಸಖಿ ನಾರಿ ಮಾರಿ ಗಂಭೀರ ಸಖಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ಸುದೆ ಅಡಿಗಡಿಗಿತ್ತಳು ಜನಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡೆತಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಆಡಳಿತದ ಸುದೆ ಅಡಿಗಡಿಗಿತ್ತಳು ಜನಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಡೆಗಣಿಸದೆ ನಡೆ ನುಡಿಯಲಿ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ಕಡೆಗಣಿಸದೆ ನಡೆ ನುಡಿಯಲಿ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ಪಡೆದು ನಾಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಳಿಕೆ ಪಡೆದು ನಾಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಳಿಕೆ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರದು ಮತಿಮಾನಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊರೆದಿಹಳು ಮತ ಹಲವಿದ್ದರು ಏಕತೆಯೊಲವನು ಮತಿಮಾನಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊರೆದಿಹಳು.
Thank you, dear students, for that spirited performance dedicated to Rani Abbakka herself. I once again take pleasure in announcing that the lyrics of the song was by Vadiraj, Kannada lecturer, and the musical composition was by Bhagirath and Miss Geeta, once again lecturers from Excellent Education Foundation. We remain indebted to you, and the song was sung by Maulya, and it's with great pride that I say daughter of Yuvraj Jain and Rashmita Jain, Chairman and Secretary of Excellent Education Foundation. Thank you very much for staying back to watch the performance. I'm sure the dancers were happy that they had you for their audience. Thank you very much.